Chapter 13, Video 3, The Chronos Anchor. With the singular end, temporal displacement waves grew intense. The structural integrity of the sector was pushed past absolute physical limits.
The tuning command executed. A supreme counter-temporal wave released across the subvaults, prepared to lock the Chronos Anchor into phase.
Out of the temporal storm charged the Eastern Siege Division, weaponizing toxic chemical pollution to disrupt the Chronos frequency before reality locked. Barrier breached. A devastating chemical blitz hitting the heart of the Chronos Anchor, fracturing the invulnerable time fields in a single second.
The time anchor is destabilizing.
Temporal fracture is imminent, requesting immediate Chronos shield injection.
Total collision on the floating catwalks. White chrome forces fight through the temporal storm, desperate to hold the line against the iron siege. Chemistry and time combined to show no mercy. The Overlord's machines dissolved advanced alloys like glass in an apocalyptic toxic winter. Kinetic counter-impact. The sky answered with atmospheric wrath, crushing the siege stronghold into a flat mirror of glass.
My fortress is broken. The orbital grid is active. Release the final subterranean reserves.
Main core is poisoned. A toxic alternative history legacy raised to choke the new world before the Matrix can ever expand. When the sun broke through the fallout, nothing remained but a total, cosmic stalemate. A cold peace maintained by absolute... The Chronos Anchor expands into the void, but the equilibrium grid prepares to lock. The ancient structures became tactical strongholds, fortified to prevent the distortion fields from cascading across the planetary network. Subsectors were locked into static time loops, isolating the core mechanisms from the weaponized fallout expanding outside. To maintain the chronological barrier, the Alliance sacrificed the entire output of their orbital reactors, feeding the Matrix everything they had left.
Silo breach in Grid 9. The Eastern Vanguard has deployed heavy combustion munitions to sever our secondary power lines.
Hold the line stable. If the main current collapses before the Matrix locks, the entire timeline will reset to zero. When dawn broke across the red frontier, the lines of science remained unbroken, holding the space vacuum at bay. The siege sequence was absolute, coordinated across multiple automated divisions to strike the core grid simultaneously.
Move through the blind zones. The quantum sensors cannot track our armor through the heavy sand fallout.
Load the secondary combustion payload. Target the primary dome support arches. The mechanical squadrons deployed. Iron monsters fueled by chemical fury charging directly into the western perimeter. Total impact. The defense forces answered with absolute force, detonating the Iron Vanguard in a single second. The weapon is obsolete. The chemical dust is dissolving the internal quantum fuel rods. Fall back to the trench. The outer lines collapsed. The Iron Hunters reclaimed the canyon floor, forcing a total blackout across the sector.
Signal is blinded. The chemical cloud has blocked our connection to the mainframe ship. We are entirely isolated.
Quantum discharge. The West answered with absolute fire, vaporizing the landing Vanguard in a single blinding instant.
They think their orbital grid makes them kings of space. But the Earth still belongs to the elements. Release the secondary reserves.
If they want total war, then we will poison the sky until their new sun goes dark forever.
The sky was poisoned. The chemical armada launched its final deterrent, preparing to choke the quantum eyes of the West. When the sun broke through the fallout, nothing remained but a landscape of displacement glass and chemical ash.
The quantum frontier ended not in victory, but in a divided world. A cold peace.
They built their peace on sun atoms and chemicals.
The Chronos Anchor threatens all physical reality. Choose your side in the comments below.
The interception was live. the Eastern remnants deployed their fastest tactical aircraft to breach the Western airspace grid.
Flood the secondary combustion pipes. Push the speed past the absolute line of structural tolerance.
Barrier breached. The chemical vanguard pierced the invulnerable Western shield with raw, mechanical force. A catastrophic strike. The Western surveillance node was erased in a single blinding instant of toxic combustion. When the smoke cleared, the frontier was compromised. The lines of current had snapped, leaving the Western capital exposed to the incoming shadow. Orbital telemetry stabilized. The Space Vanguard secured the planetary perimeter, prepared to deploy the next matrix node. Multi-dimensional core framework operating independent of external mass, creating an invulnerable energy shield across the installation.
Subterranean contact. The enemy has bypassed our geological scanners, breaching the perimeter defense lines from below.
Engage the primary kinetic anchors. Drive the vanguards directly into their central communications grid.
The shadow of the old world occupied the cosmos, a monumental testament to mankind's refusal to perish in the ash. Production lines were overcharged, mass-producing the specialized combustion munitions required to neutralize the Western code fields.
The refinery tower is compromised. Toxic fluid has breached the clean water line. Containment is failing.
The Chronos Anchor authorization stabilized, mapping the entire temporal field to prevent total collapse across the sector.
Secure the secondary power lines. Do not let the chemical suit ground the central current matrix before the Chronos Anchor stabilizes.
Direct discharge in Quadrant 19. The invading siege division is completely melting under the absolute weight of the chronological shockwave. Chronos Anchor sequence complete. Main current tracks are locked and stable. Total sector secured under Alliance jurisdiction. When the sun broke through the radioactive haze, the stronghold of the New World Order stood secure. The Chronos Anchor achieved absolute phase lock. The time fracture was contained, securing the true timeline for generations to come.